discussed about 3 stages of identifying errors in our previous videos. What are those 3 stages? Errors identified before preparing the trial balance, errors identified after preparing the trial balance and before preparing the final accounts, errors identified after preparing trial balance and final accounts. These are the 3 different stages we need to learn how to identify the errors and how to rectify them as well. Out of these 3 stages, we have already discussed in detail about the first stage. What is that first stage? Errors identified before preparing the trial balance. Correct? Now, in that stage, what we did, we already solved some illustrations. We discussed in detail about it. In today's video, we are going to discuss about the errors identified after preparing the trial balance and before preparing final accounts. How these kind of errors can be identified. After identification of these errors, how these errors can be rectified in the system. That is what we are going to discuss in today's video. Are you ready for that? Hi, my name is Krishna Akumalla. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are going to discuss in detail about the second stage of errors being identified. Right? Without wasting much time, let us get into the presentation and I'll explain in detail how the errors can be identified, how the errors can be identified after preparing the trial balance and before preparing the final accounts, and how those errors can be rectified as well. Right? Let us start. Okay guys, today's topic is going to be on errors identified after preparing trial balance and before preparing the final accounts. Before we get into this topic, I just wanted to recap on the first stage. What is the first stage? Errors identified before preparing the trial balance. Errors identified before preparing the trial balance. Before preparing trial balance. In this stage, we learned 2 types of rectifications. One, we understood one-sided entries, and we also understood complete entries. Do you remember this? When the errors are identified before preparing the trial balance, those errors can be identified and rectified by preparing one-sided entry, and some of them can be rectified by preparing a complete entry. This is what we understood. One question here, why we need to prepare only one-sided entry? This is what I explained, because when we prepare a rectification entry for one-side entry, there should be a reason, right? Why we are not bringing debit and credit there, why we are talking about only one-sided entries there, because those errors are having impact only in single accounts or single side. They do not have impact on multiple accounts. Since those kind of errors are not having any impact on multiple accounts, we concluded that with one-sided entry. Right? That is what we understood. Wherever you identify the multiple accounts got impacted, that is where we prepared complete entries. That is where we prepared complete entries. Now I am giving some value addition to that. What is that value addition I am going to give here is, you started preparing one-sided rectification entries because those mistakes have impact only one account, single accounts. That is one reason. The second reason why one-sided entries are prepared in the first stage is that those errors are identified before preparing the trial balance. This is the another reason I am adding now. Why that reason is added now? Because I need to explain if the errors are identified after preparing trial balance and before preparing the final accounts, you need to understand very in detail why one-sided entry has been prepared previously. If you know the reason, you will definitely get to know the reason why I'm going to explain after preparing trial balance and before final, preparing the final accounts, how those entries can be prepared, why single-sided entries are not coming there, why all complete entries are being taken into account. All those things you will definitely get a clarity in the second stage. Are you getting my point? So why one-sided entries are prepared in the first stage? The first reason is those errors have impact only on one side, one account or one side, because of which one-sided entries are posted. That is the reason I explained. Now, second reason is since those errors are identified before preparing the trial balance, and also those errors are having impact on single accounts, one-sided entries are posted. Repeating again, this is very important point, guys. Why one-sided entries are posted in first stage? Two reasons. One, those entries have impact on one single account or one-sided of the account. Second, that is being added, that has been added now. Second reason is those errors are identified before preparing the trial balance, because of which one-sided entries are prepared. The reason is they are identified having impact on single accounts, and they are prepared or identified before preparing the trial balance. Because of this, one-sided entries are posted. Okay, fine. Do you mean to say there are no complete entries posted, not posted in stage one? Yes, we posted complete entries in stage one. When did we post complete entries in stage one? Wherever you identify those entries having impact on multiple accounts, that is when we got into complete entries. That is when we got into complete entries. So if you could understand this, now I'll go to the second stage now. What is that second stage is? Errors are identified after preparing the trial balance. This is the beautiful point. I prepared a trial balance. If trial balance is prepared, either the trial balance should have tallied or the trial balance shouldn't have been tallied. You agree with me or not? Trial balance is already prepared and you identified the errors. If trial balance is already prepared, if the errors are identified, those errors might have impact on trial balance. Those errors may not have impact on trial balance. Right? There could be compensating errors. Those compensating errors will not have any impact on trial balance. Both debit and credit in trial balance will tally for compensating errors. But if there are errors having impact on trial balance, those differences would have been identified in trial balance. For example, debit total is 10,000, credit total is 12,000. You prepared the trial balance. Debit total has 10,000, credit total has 12,000. So here trial balance is not tallied. Trial balance has impact of 2,000 rupees. This trial balance is not tallied. So what do we do if trial balance is not tallied? We need to figure out why that difference has come. We need to identify the reasons for this difference. Correct? Till such time you identify this difference of 2,000, what temporarily people does is this difference will be posted to suspense account. This difference will be posted to suspense account. Then you see this will tally 12,000, 12,000 because the difference is posted to suspense account. So you prepared the trial balance. You identified the difference. The difference has been posted to suspense account. Now you ensure the trial balance is tallied. But is it a right trial balance? Is that trial balance is showing a right arithmetical accuracy? The answer is no. Why? The difference has been posted to a temporary account called a suspense account. As an accountant, it is your responsibility to identify why. How can I identify this 2000? How do I identify this 2000 difference? Right? So, whenever the trial balance is prepared and whenever you see after preparing trial balance there is a difference, you need to transfer that difference to suspense account and then proceed for preparing final accounts. If at all you want to prepare the final accounts. If at all you cannot wait for the difference to be resolved, for time being, you can post the difference to suspense account and you can proceed further by preparing your P&L account and balance sheet. But what is your responsibility? You need to identify the reasons for this difference and you need to rectify them. So, you know the difference is lying in suspense account now. Correct? Now, you started identifying the errors. Once you identify the error, whether it is one-sided or whether it has a multiple accounts got impacted, here in this stage, you always get complete entry. That is the beauty of this stage. In this particular stage, whether you identify the error which has impact on one side of the account or whether it has impact on single account or whether it has impact on multiple accounts, you will be ending up preparing rectification complete entries. Only complete entries. How come, Krishna? In first stage you said one-sided entries has to be prepared if that has impact on one account. But now here you are saying even though it is one-sided impact, how come you are saying that complete entry is possible? Complete entry is possible in second stage because the difference has been transferred to suspense account after preparing trial balance. Whereas in first stage, you did not even prepare the trial balance. You didn't prepare the trial balance. Since you did not prepare the trial balance, where is the question of difference identified? Where is the question of the difference has been posted to suspense account? That impact, that scenario did not arise at all in first stage because trial balance is not prepared. But here in second stage, what happened? Second stage, you prepared the trial balance. You identified the difference has been posted to suspense account. Now the balance is lying in suspense account. Now you identified the error. That error can be a one-sided error. The error can be a multiple, having impact on multiple accounts. If it is one-sided error, anyway you have to give an impact to that particular account and other leg will be given impact in suspense account. If it is multiple accounts, anyway the impact will be given in multiple accounts. Let me repeat again. If it is one-sided impact, you know that you need to give an impact for this account and other leg will be given impact to suspense account. That is the reason, even though there is a one-sided impact identified in trial balance or in ledger, that will be rectified by posting complete entry only. That will be rectified by posting a complete entry only. I'll take an example and explain to you so that it will be easy for you to understand. For example, sales book undercasted. Sales book undercasting with 100 rupees. Now you prepared the trial balance. You identified this is 10,000. This is 10,100. 10,100. Right? Or 10,100 in debit side and 10,000 credit side. Let me prepare properly. Let us say trial balance you prepared. Your debit is showing 10,100 and credit is showing 10,000. Now, the difference is 100. So you prepared this 100 difference and posted to suspense account. Now this is 10,100, this is also 10,100. The suspense account is lying 100 credit side. Now, sales book undercasted with 100 rupees. This is the error you identified. What is that we used to do previously? Since sales book is undercasted, it will have impact only on sales account. So what we used to do previously, by sales book undercasting 100 rupees. This is how we used to write. Are you getting my point? By sales book undercasting 100 rupees. Simple. This is called one-sided entry. This is how we did our rectification in our first stage. But now this 100 rupees difference has already been posted to suspense account and it is lying in suspense account. What we need to do, we need to credit sales account. That is what one-sided entry also says. We need to credit sales account. Which account I need to debit? This credit was lying in suspense account. That has to be rectified. If this credit has to be rectified in suspense account, that has to be debited. So your entry is suspense account debit to sales account 100 rupees. See, in first stage, you just posted one single entry. In second stage, you posted suspense account debit to sales account. This is complete entry. This is one-sided entry. Are you getting my point? This is the beauty of second stage. Let me repeat again. You already prepared the trial balance. You identified there is a difference in 100 rupees in credit side. That credit side, you posted that 100 to suspense account and ensured that my debit total is 10,100, credit total is 10,100, your trial balance is tallied. But with 100 rupees difference posted to suspense account. That is what the trial balance is. Are you clear so far? Right. Now, you identified the error. What error you identified? Sales book undercasted by 100 rupees. For time being, let us assume that if this mistake is identified in stage 1, what is stage 1? Errors identified before preparing the trial balance. If that was the stage, how you would have rectified this entry? You would have rectified by crediting your sales book or sales account by saying by sales book undercasting 100 rupees. You mention that and close it. That is how stage 1 entry. Now we are in stage 2. You identified this error after preparing the trial balance and before preparing the final accounts. Am I right? And the difference was posted to suspense account. Now what you are supposed to do? Your sales account is undercasted. Sales is credit balance. That is undercasted. So if it is undercasted, you need to fulfill back. If you want to fulfill back, you need to credit sales account. So sales account is credited. Which account you need to debit? Already this difference was lying in suspense account. Since already this difference is lying in suspense account, that too in credit side, if you want to rectify the credit of suspense account, you need to debit it. So suspense account to debit to sales account is the entry. So though it was one-sided entry in stage 1, you rectified that entry with complete entry in second stage. So what is that I'm trying to say here is, in stage 2, you will not identify any single entries or one-sided entries. Why you cannot identify one-sided entries in second stage is, the simple answer to that is, the difference in trial balance is already identified and posted to suspense account. That means one leg is already identified. One leg is already sitting in our suspense account. The other leg anyway, one-side entry which you have posted previously, right? That plus the suspense account will become a complete entry. That will become a complete entry. Because of which, in second stage, you cannot identify single-sided entries because all the rectifications you post in second stage are complete entries only. Are you getting my point? That is what I wanted to explain about the second stage. One conclusion here before I close this video. In second stage, you prepare the trial balance, you identify the difference will be posted to suspense account. So as soon as the difference is posted to suspense account, you know one leg is already defined. Now, since the difference is posted to suspense account, as an accountant, your responsibility is to identify where is that error happened. Then you understood there is an error. If it is one-sided error, you rectify that one-sided account and rectify the suspense account. By end of the year or end of rectification, you should make sure that your suspense account is zeroed out. All the problems or whatever be the balance lying in suspense account is zeroed out. That means you identified all the errors, you rectified and ensured that the difference which is posted to suspense account is zeroed out. That is your responsibility. So, in second stage, you will not identify any single-sided entries. They are all complete entries only. That is what I wanted to talk about it in this video. I am going to take 2 to 3 examples, illustrations from institute material. And next video, I'm going to talk about those illustrations. Once you start looking into those illustrations, how I'm going to explain, you will get a super duper clarity. Till such time, you need to wait for my next video. I hope you like this video. If you like it, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with your friends and colleagues. Thank you so much.